So, like, what do you want us to be like? Hey, you know.
Yo, what's cracking, man? It's your boy Left in the Frontline. That's Locksmith. He ain't saying nothing. We gonna be here, so don't change that channel.
Yeah, don't go
turn
nowhere.
That down. Don't put the remote down.
We right here
in the building.
Yes, sir.
New Bay.
So, I want to talk about how you guys got together.
Man, we've been partners since like 7th grade, so that's just kind of how it started. We've been partners since junior high school, and we been rolling together ever since then. So we was partners before Frontline even came about. So that's kind of how it all went down with us knowing each other.
You summed it up. That's about it. Yeah.
Okay. So y'all want to talk about how the name came about? Just what Frontline the name represents?
Basically, the name represents like it has like several different levels of the meaning or whatever. But basically, it represents like bringing about change. For whatever is going on, especially like in the Bay Area, we've been kind of slept on for so long. So it's like we kind of took the name as like being on the front line of change, and bringing some recognition back to the Bay. And plus, like in that same thought, like we consider ourselves like being on the front line. We represent for all those who just like whatever struggles they going through, whether they be economic struggles, whether they on lockdown, whether they in the hood, whether they struggling for any area, you know what I mean? So, it has several meanings.
Good. And so the album coming out, y'all want to talk about the date, to just, who's on it, production-wise, just anything like that in terms of the album.
And the album is called Who Are You? And, myself and EA Ski did the bulk of the production. We're not really releasing our features because, we try to keep that a secret, try to keep that on the hush. But, the album is basically, within the title, I think that people need to get back to doing things that connect with their album. So our album is called Who Are You? Because we're telling who we are. And we also question who you are as a person, if you fit into certain categories that we talk about. Album is coming soon, coming in spring, kickoff single is What Is It, and that's doing well for us. So, we really going to try to hit them with the next single so that they can understand that we're not playing, that it's not just a fluke. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to get labeled the one-hit wonder type of thing. So that's basically it on my end. I know he got something to say about it, too.
Yeah, basically the album is just a reflection of us. Like you said, people... as of late, they've just been kind of making albums because, like, you got to have this party song, you got to have one single, I got to have one street record and one lyrical song or whatever. But our song is just like, it's who we are. That's why the title, is Who Are You? Because it's who we are. So we just putting ourselves out there. Some songs might make it, some songs might not, but it's basically who we are. Every song that you hear off the album is going to be a reflection of us. And as far as the features go, like you said, we just we don't know exactly where the features are going to go right now. We have some features that we've done, but, once the album is complete, then that's when you like, okay, this song doesn't make it, this song does. So that's where we at with the album.
Okay, so they talking about, what is it? Everyone's hyped about it, everyone loves it, you know what I'm saying? So what are you guys going to do on your part to make sure that you guys continue on with the success, you know what I'm saying? Like the next singles, the next albums.
Man, all we can do is be honest, with ourselves and make good music and not look at music as a come up. Because then when you do that, you sacrifice the art of it. And it's cool I think everybody should be able to make money off what God gave them a talent to do. But I don't think you should try to pimp yourself like that to where or pimp music like that where you're only doing it to make money. So all we can do is try to be ourselves. Hopefully people will respond to it. If they don't, then we had a good run. You know what I'm saying? And that's it, man. It's not up to us how successful we are. What's up to us is that we make good music. And that's it, man. So as long as we make good music, hopefully the people will support it. If they do, they do. If they don't, we'll still be making our music, because we love to do the music.
Yeah, just to like kind of back what he was saying, it's like, like you were saying, what do you do to maintain that success? Like you said, of course we just do what we do. We are who we are. So that's going to reflect in our music. But there's a lot of like being that this is our first full length album that we're going to release, and this is our first single that we've released to the radio and that's done well. It's a lot of work that goes into that. You know, it's a lot of like leg work. It's a lot of paperwork. It's a lot of business work that goes on that really is a lot of, you know, it's real time consuming. So it's like you have that, you have your career, you have your artistic, you know, your creative side that you know, you want to make the best music that you can. But then on the other hand, you also got to maintain the business and make sure that's going. You know, you got to mail off singles, you got to mail off vinyl, you got to make sure your paperwork, you got to make sure your name is copywritten, that your name is trademarked, that your songs belong to you, and that you know, you got to go through all this, make sure everything is mastered and mixed and all these different types of steps. Like you said, it's not, music is just not a come up. You know, of course you want to be able to make money off of your creativity, but at the same time, you got to make sure that, you know, you handle your business and that at the same time you keep your integrity in what you're doing.
I got questions. So you guys want to touch up on the whole like, New Bay movement, who's a part of it, and where you guys plan on going with it or anything?
Well, basically, man, the New Bay movement is not just like, oh, it's locksmith, left, and balance. You know, a lot of people clump it as that. But what it is a movement. You can't have a movement with three people. You know, it's a movement of artists that want to make a change in their region, which where we are. We're in the Bay Area, so it's not just rappers. It's producers. We got a homie that's in a rock band that say they're holla New Bay at his shows. You know what I'm saying? So it's bigger than just us three. You know, than the Frontline and Balance, and a lot of the light is on us because when my man was on MTV, he was saying New Bay, so it's just like, okay, that's the New Bay, but that's not the way it is. So I can't really say who's in the New Bay, you know what I'm saying, because we not taking applications or nothing like that. But it's a movement, and a movement goes where it goes. So we can't say where it's gonna go. We can't say who's in it. You know, if you riding with us, you riding with us. If you're not, you're not.
I mean, yeah, it's just like basically, it's just the mind frame. You know, like the Bay has been kind of just like slept on and it's been milked by other markets. So the New Bay is it's just saying, like, look, we recognize what's going on and we're going to do something about it. You know, it's going to reflect in our music. It's going to reflect in the way we handle our business. It's going to reflect in our attitudes. So that's what we're doing. And whenever you at the front line of any type of change, you're going to catch them first blows. You're going to catch them hits. But, we believe in what we do. So we're going to keep on doing what we do until, and hopefully we'll be successful. I mean, we're happy with where we've done. We feel very, like they say, success is a journey. So our journey right now is a good journey. So we're just going to continue.
Right. This is kind of like my personal experience. I talked to a cat from Texas, who's a friend of mine, and also we interviewed Jake One from Seattle, and he was saying that in both those areas they bump Bay shit more than they do in the Bay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like just the early '90s, mid '90s, whatever. Why do you guys think that is? Though? Do you guys have an opinion on that? Just why are other regions supporting the Bay more than the Bay itself? That's kind of like what I see as a trend. That's kind of unusual.
Well, the Bay is real. The Bay is one of those areas to where it's not as populated as like New York City. We just got millions of people just crammed in these little 4 boroughs or whatever. But the Bay is it's real saturated, especially with like rappers. If you're just sitting somewhere, chances are, 1 out of every 3 dudes that walk in is going to be a rapper or the head of a CEO, the CEO of some label that they started, which is cool. I mean, I'm not knocking nobody's entrepreneurial, attitudes, but that makes it harder because everybody, and if they're looking at it as a come up, then it's just saturating the market with a lot of just quick music or quick just stuff putting out there. So we don't even have a chance to appreciate what we do because everybody's like, oh, I want to do that too. And which is cool, but you have to understand also what that's doing to the game. So then you have other areas who can appreciate that independent entrepreneurial attitude. So they're like, they feeling what we doing. They feeling, because if you go to Texas, Seattle, they may like the underground sound of the Bay. They may like the more mob sound. They may like what we do. They may like whatever, but they appreciate it because they're on the outside and it's not as saturated. Like everybody puts their own CD out, and 90% of the independent labels, they're only pushing it right here. You know, so it's like it's all right here. You only press up 1,000, 2,000 CDs, they're not gonna get that far. So of course they're gonna be right here in the Bay. So, you know, I think that's a big part of that, you know, that problem or that, you know, question, why did they bump it somewhere else?
Yeah, I feel that. You guys want to talk about like your influences in terms of like album and also just your overall sound, just, you know, hip hop and non-hip hop.
You know, the funny thing is like, I think the beauty of our sound and our group or whatever is that being that we come from Richmond and we in the Bay and we in the West Coast within the spectrum of the United States, we don't get no attention. We don't have nobody, not necessarily we don't have anybody to look up to, but we don't have anybody that we have to pattern ourselves after to be successful. So in New York, you had Nas when he first came out, and then a 1,000 other Nas's, because Nas was successful and they saw a formula. Same with Jay-Z and same with Lil Jon, even down south, Lil Jon right now. It's like, okay, we got a formula, let's run with it so we can get some success. Well, out here, it ain't like that. We only have like one artist on the major label, and that's 40, and he's very distinctive. You just, I mean, if you copying him, it's blatant. You know what I'm saying? And it's not enough room for 240s. So we don't have anybody to copy. So that's why it's a lot of different people in the Bay Area. I mean, people try to clump the Bay into this just one big mob music, but the Bay is real diverse. You know, probably one of the most diverse areas music-wise in this whole country, you know, because there's a lot of different scenes out here. So we don't really have, luckily, we don't have an influence. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? There's people we look at, but we don't have anybody in the Bay to be like, yeah, that's who we following. So I think that helps us musically because we can set our own style and our own sound.
Okay, so there's a lot of people that listen to you guys on the radio. You know, they want to be where you all are at right now. You know, it's a lot of people. So, if you have any advice that you want to give any up and coming artists or groups that want to be successful?
Yeah, I mean, just do you. You know, you don't have to. There's no like standard. There's no formula. You just do you and respect the game. You know what I mean? Understand that and have patience. Know that you can't just get in there and just make it happen just like that. It ain't gonna happen like that all the time. So you know, respect the game and have patience and know that it's steps that you have to take. And you know, like, you know, be true to your music. I think that's what we've been reiterating throughout the interviews. It's like, you know, be true to what you're doing. Don't follow any, you know, just if New York or down south was successful right now, you don't have to emulate that or copy that in order to be successful as far as your creative, you know, standpoint is. Just do you and, you know, be patient with the game. It'll come to you. Just stay hungry and work hard. It'll come to you.
I think that what's really important, like he touched on it, is that you have to take this game serious. You know, don't just do a song at your partner house and then think you're going to get it on the radio. You know, when you skipping steps, you know, you have to do your song and you have to get it mixed and you have to get it mastered. And you know what I'm saying? There's so many steps that you have to take. And I don't think a lot of people take the game serious enough to take all those steps and pay the cost that it takes to take those steps. It shouldn't, it's not cheap. You know what I'm saying? It's not a inexpensive thing. You have to, in order to be successful, you have to be willing to invest in yourself. And if you don't have that at that time, then just understand that your time it's not your time yet. But just keep, you know, like it took us a long time to get a song on the radio like that, you know, but we weren't tripping because we knew we didn't have the means to compete and show them that we were just as serious about our craft, you know what I'm saying, as the next artist was on the radio. Because it, you know, and you got to understand also that your song can be hot, but there is certain rules, like he was talking about Stan, but there are certain, like you do have to, sonically your music has to match up for them to be able to play it on the radio. Because if it doesn't, then not only, you know, the DJ is putting their neck on the line for something that, you know what I mean, that's not on a certain quality level. So I just think, you know, I think quality is real important. I think, you know, as long as you do a quality product, it has a chance. And, you know.
You want to speak out on the whole MTV thing at all?
I mean, shit. I think it was just a good thing to bring I think the MTV battle was just like a good platform to bring in recognition to the Bay, because, any area has its stereotypes. Like down south, you may think, oh, that's all crunk. And East Coast, you may think this is all one way. But the Bay, every place is diverse. And, like we was talking about before, the Bay is it's way diverse. So it just was a platform for people to be looking towards us and seeing what we doing over here. And, even though some people was like, oh, you won or you got robbed or whatever, it really doesn't make a difference because the main objective was just to bring some recognition and some focus towards what we're doing over here, not just the front line or not just, a certain group of people, but the whole Bay. So I think that was the most, positive thing out of the whole battle.
Okay. I know some cats out there criticize, all these cats on TV or, all that on the radio or whatever, how do you respond to that sort of success,
What do you mean, like people?
Like I'm just saying, because MTV, people they may think that MTV is just like, what I'm saying, like
the mainstream.
Yeah, just sort of like mainstream. But,
right.
how do you respond to that sort of criticism? If there is that.
I mean, luckily, man, we've been able to get love, from everybody. And I mean, if you don't like it, that's just too damn bad. I mean, because it's not for everybody. I don't want everybody to like our product because then that means we took a formula and we did something too right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want people to not like it because that way we'll always have fans we can get later on. Like, maybe they'll come around in 3 years or whatever. But, if you don't like the fact that we on the radio, we was on MTV, that's cool. I mean, maybe you shouldn't turn us off. You know what I'm saying? But if you do like it, and I think a lot of people don't appreciate the fact that we was ourselves and that we, represented who we are, and that's all you can do. If you do that and somebody's mad at you, then, that's just too damn bad.
I mean, right now we're independent. We just looking to be successful. I mean, we feel like we're on that road. Like we feel very successful now. We want to continue that success and, hopefully it'll grow. So when you first starting off, you think, oh, I want to get a deal. I want to get signed. But you understand that getting signed, that's more work. It's just constant work. So we don't have no set goal to get signed. We just want to be able to put our music on a level to where everybody has a chance to, either like it or not like it. So, if getting signed is a part of that process, it'd be cool. It'd be cool for somebody to be taking care of some of the expenses. Because right now, when you're starting off independent, you're putting in a lot more money than you're getting back. And it can even be worse when you get signed. So hopefully if we get to that point where we're signed to, whatever label, then it'll be, where we're benefiting. We're getting some type of income in for that. But, right now we're independent. We're working with EA Ski, which is a veteran in the game right now. We're working with his label. And he's showing us a lot, being that he's been in the game for so long, he's giving us a lot of, back doors into the game because he's made mistakes. When you've been in the game, you made a lot of mistakes. So now we can learn, he can show us and we can learn from his mistakes and, as well as our own mistakes.
So how'd y'all feel when you first heard that track on the radio? Or how do you feel when you hear it in the club and everyone's just feeling it,
And it's, it's good and bad. Like we've never been the type of dudes that just get caught up in our own successes. So when I hear it in the club, if you see me, we froze just watching everybody. I want to see people's response. See how people are responding to it. And that's the only reason we really go to clubs, to do shows and see what music people are responding to, read the people. So when I hear it on the radio, I'm not all dancing and singing with it. It's like
we just analyze.
Yeah, we just analyzing it like that. Even sometimes, I'm like, damn, I could have said that differently. You know what I'm saying? The more I hear it, the more but it helps for the next song. Because I can say, okay, the next time I'm not going to do that, or the next time I'll pull back here. So it's work. I mean, when we listen to, it's really like research. When it come on, it's like, okay, we're researchers now. You know what I'm saying? We're researching our product that we're presenting to the people. So it goes into that mode. I know we both doing the same thing. We just looking in different directions. So, But it's cool though when people come up to you and say, "Man, I like your song and stuff." You know, it's respect and it's love, and you feel good that you know you did something that people enjoy. So it's cool.
That's interesting.
Just promote everything, man. Album.
Yeah, go ahead. Just ways to contact you guys, albums,
Shout outs.
Shout outs also.
Website is www.thefrontlineonline.com. That's www.thefrontlineonline.com. You can also hit us up. We got a forum on raptalk.net. That's www.raptalk.net. And it's a New Bay forum, so you'll catch, and it's a cool place for everybody. We network and, everybody get they touch on certain topics and everything. So you can find us there. I'm letting my man plug all the album stuff, though.
Yeah. Also, if you go to raptalk.net or the Frontline online, you go to the forum, the New Bay forum. Basically, you'll get to know about all the shows and, what we're doing. We keep everybody updated on what we're doing, so make sure y'all go to that. The album is called Who Are You? That's the new album, produced by Left, EA Ski, Frontline. We got some features. It's just us. You know what I mean? We putting ourselves out there. And we also have a couple other projects. The Frontline Bootlegs Volume 1 and 2, which you can get at Rasputin's, or you can go to Rasputins.com or RasputinMusic.com or whatever. You can also you go to our website. You can purchase that from our website, thefrontlineonline.com. And other projects, Watch Out Now mixtape that we work with various artists. Got us on there, Frontline, Balance, EA Ski, The Federation, Effie, Dutch, Dap and Key, Selski from Frisco. We got cats from Colorado, cats from New York. It's just like, it did real well. It's a real tight mixtape, and it's not like what you would consider a mixtape because it's really a lot of original material. But it did really well. It's still in the stores. You can get that at Tower Records. You can go to Rasputin's to get it. And Frontline, New Bay.
Sure. You have any shout outs, personal shout outs?
Shout outs.
Shout out to Ski. Because, Ski helped us a lot, man.
CMT.
You know what I'm saying? CMT, it's good to link up with a vet, you know what I'm saying, to have you, to show you the ropes in certain areas that you didn't know. Like, we didn't come in as just like some new dudes. When we hooked up with Ski, we were mature enough to understand some of the things he was telling us, so that's cool. Shout out to the rich, where we from. Shout out to the whole Bay, the whole New Bay, all the OGs. Man, it's all love. We just trying to rep the Bay like everybody else, man. So I wish success to everybody. Hope everybody blow up and make it, and then we can all kick it and have a good time.
Yeah. Shout out to Richmond. That's about it. Shout out to the whole Bay. It's all love, man. Like people think, since you got like a song on the radio or they seen us on TV or whatever, like it's a lot of animosity, but it's really a bunch of love, man. Like everywhere we go, people just show us like major love. Just like, man, I appreciate what y'all doing. Because we try to be real, we don't try to come across as no fake dudes or try to portray something that we're not. So I think real people can recognize that. So shout out to everybody that's giving us love. Shout out to our family, our boys at Dare to Be Different Barbershop, Juan, LB, Eric, and P. They holding us down. They always support whatever we doing, and yeah.